What's better? Should you be looking for a secure 9-to-5 job and just have that stability, that, paycheck that you can count on? Or is this the time, the era, the perfect opportunity for you to start your own online business, whether it be freelancing, consulting, coaching, solopreneur, or even a product or service business? We're going to get into all of that and a whole lot more, diving deep. It's another personal branding career coaching call here on Nez Nation. You don't want to miss this. Come on back. How's it going, Nez Nation? So good to see you. Thank you so much for joining us on this coaching call here on the channel. Very excited to have you. This is something that I've been doing a lot more of, are these really in-depth, long, actual coaching calls recorded with real conversation, real problems, real challenges. I think that you guys have been getting a lot out of it. I hope you have. Let me know in the comments down below how you feel about these videos. Do you like these videos? We also put these on our podcast. I'll leave a link down below for our podcast if you enjoy, listening to these, because these are kind of longer videos than my usual kind of, straightforward pre-recorded videos. And so I've just been really pumped and really excited by these. I think they bring a ton of value. I know how much value I got out of coaching calls and listening to other people who I admired and listening to them help other people who are having challenges similar to mine. I just remember how valuable that was, and I hope that you guys share that and feel the same way. And by the way, if you're interested in actually being on the show and actually being in a video and getting help from me, let me know. I'll leave some information down below where you can kind of reach out to me and let me know what your challenge is related to job search, career search, branding, online business, reputation, online presence, building your audience, building engagement, whatever that may be. It's all about mindset and messaging, even if it has to do with this dude right here. I'll leave some links in the description down below. This coaching call that you're about to watch, this is a coaching call with an awesome student of mine, Emmett, who actually we start talking about him wanting to look for a job as a technical writer / UX UI writer. And there's this beautiful evolution that kind of takes place in the conversation where we kind of have this breakthrough discovery where, maybe there's a potential opportunity for him to start his own freelance writing business. And so it really builds into this very in-depth kind of conversation, and I think that Emmett got a lot out of it, and I hope you do too. And so without further ado, I've done enough talking. Shocker. Let's jump right into the coaching call. Emmett, tell me a little bit more in depth of what exactly is your question and how I can help you today.
So yeah, I'm very interested in UX writing is a buzzword I've kind of latched onto as a career aspiration, but from what I know and what I've through research, I'm having a hard time finding a way to get into that. It seems like the jobs are there already, and it's kind of hard to get hired as one, especially when you don't really know. But there aren't any UX writing classes at Chapman or anything like that, so I don't know how to learn and then be marketable for that.
Okay, so here's what I want to do. I love your question. It's a fantastic question. I think a lot of people are going to be able to relate to this, and I have a lot of different things that I'd like to help. What have you? First of all, I like to understand kind of what is the source of this desire. Mm-hmm. I like to start from the beginning, and then I want to know and figure out where exactly do you feel like would be a great place to end up, and then reverse engineer that and figure out how to get there. And so here's what I want to start with. Why UX writing? Where did UX writing come from? Where did this desire or compulsion come from?
All right. So I guess it starts with as a child, very into technology. I remember when the first iPhone came out, I was, I think, in 4th grade.
Oh, yeah.
I remember seeing people have it, just being in awe. And obviously, I didn't have a phone in 4th grade, but friends' parents or whatever, and just being dumbfounded by it. And then I think in 6th grade, I got an iPod Touch. And from that moment, I jailbroke the iPod Touch, was doing just kind of playing around with all the technology, doing cool things with it. And from that point on, I loved technology. As time goes on, technology is more expensive and it's hard to afford it all. And like, so I'm kind of stagnant with it now. I just have a regular iPhone, blah, 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 blah. But in college, I actually didn't start as a writing major. It was a specific class with a specific professor I took that like kind of persuaded me to do it. But I fell in love with writing, and I thought, I'm a good writer. And I think UX writing is kind of it's a mesh of those two loves, like
Technology and writing,
words to, help brand and like convey to an audience how to use technology. And then there's also the component of UX design, which is really cool.
Yes. And let me tell you something too, Emmett. Thank you. That helps. So because you're coming from the right place. What I was kind of worried that you were going to say was, well, I don't really know what else to do, and this feels like something I'll do. Or I was worried that you were going to say, well, my mom and dad want me to really do this, or my girlfriend thinks I'm good at this, or my friend thinks I'm good at this. Mm-hmm. But the fact that it's coming from your own internal validation makes me feel that much more able to kind of help and assist, because it really starts with, Emmett, especially at your age. What are you, 19, 18, Emmett?
22.
22. Okay, that's awesome. Like, this is a beautiful, beautiful time. It's a beautiful, beautiful age to try a lot of different things, because you don't have all the attachments and responsibilities of kids, mortgage, all that stuff. At least I hope you don't, right? You don't have kids, you don't have a mortgage. Okay, good. That's a good first start.
Yeah.
And trust me when I say this, everybody listening and watching, and you too, Emmett, wait as long as you can.
Yeah.
Trust me, just take your time. There's no rush on that. But that helps me a lot, because it's coming from a place of where you feel confident about your own skills. It's something that you actually enjoy. It's interesting, because a lot of people, especially coaches, they'll say, do what you love, do what you're passionate about. But a lot of people don't have that luxury. A lot of people, especially my clients, most of them are post 40, post 50, about 70 to maybe 60% of them are post 40, post 50. They don't have the luxury of choice. They have to put like food in people's mouths. They have to make sure that they don't get evicted. And so doing what you love, even though there's a plethora of opportunities right now, doing what you love is something that's a luxury that comes with, it's really something that's relegated to having more choice and more freedom, more flexibility, where you're not, people aren't dependent upon you, and you don't have a mountain of responsibilities and things that you're held accountable for. So this is the time, this is the age. And who knows, maybe 2-3 years from now, you might be like, forget UX writing. I tried that. And now I'm going to go into, I don't know, now I'm going to go into carpentry. You never know. That's the cool thing about this journey, especially as a young person. You're not even in the growth phase. You're not even in the discovery phase. You're just in the kind of phase of just trying to figure out what feels right. You know what I mean? Right. And I mean, obviously that has something to do with discovery phase too, but this is a beautiful time of discovery. You've heard me say this in class a lot too. So I'm really, really happy to hear you say that is the sort of epicenter of your objective. Is it's coming from a place of authenticity. It's coming from a place of, this is something that compels me, inspires me, and makes me want to do this. Now, and I love the fact that you had this story about the iPhone and how you've got this great backstory. Now, so blending those two, UX writing and technology, and writing in general. I mean, there's where did UX come from? Like user experience, user design. Why specifically? Because there's all sorts of writing that you can do. You could do technical writing if you're interested. And if what I'm hearing you say is blending technology with writing, which seems like that's your forte, where did the specificity of UX and UI, which people who don't know, listening and watching, they might be like, what's UX mean? UX means user experience, and UI is user interface. And correct me if I'm wrong, Emmett, it's basically, I have a lot of clients in the UX space. And to just kind of piggyback or just to briefly answer your question earlier, there's plenty of jobs for UX designer, UX director, UX writer, there's plenty of jobs, UX project manager. because I have a lot of clients like that. But why specifically UX and UI? What does that draw? Why does that draw your attention?
I think there's an immediate impact with it, that I've had a couple internships writing. So I've written music reviews for like an online magazine, kind of like a Pitchfork type thing, much smaller. And then last summer I did sports writing, like writing like MLB game previews, fantasy football, kind of like the prelude to the season. And
Dude, that's awesome, dude.
it was really cool. But a lot of the time I felt like the writings were on deaf ears, like I don't know how many people were reading it. And I think it would be cool to try, if you write something and you use like perfect, succinct language that is the most effective language to convey something to a consumer or user, that is having an immediate impact. And I feel like that would be a fulfilling feeling.
Yeah.
Obviously, I haven't had it, but
it's an amazing feeling. It's the only feeling. I love your maturity, Emmett. Your maturity and your intelligence is really impressing me right now. I want to say kudos to you as a young man, 22. I didn't even know which way was north, which way was south. I barely knew how to tie my own shoes at 22. So, excuse me. The fact that you have this kind of wherewithal at this young of an age, and you actually understand the power of servicing others, which is everything. I mean, you can see right above purpose, message, impact. I mean, impact is the last word in that, mission statement that I have with my personal branding agency, because the first thing you need to do is discover your purpose. And then it doesn't matter how brilliant or how awesome your purpose is, you have to be able to craft a message to get it out there if you want to be able to impact people. And so, that being a natural born writer and being somebody who, has an intrinsic desire to communicate in that way, how important it is to craft a very powerful message. And so that's awesome, dude. That's awesome and I'm telling you right now, Emmett, that's what it's all about. I've said this many a times in videos and streams. It's literally all about transforming lives. Money is important. You've got to pay the bills. You definitely want your autonomy. You definitely want your independence. You want to be able to focus on what you love and try to make a living at it, which I'm so blessed and lucky to do. But people say this all the time, like, Nez, how come you don't have millions of subscribers on your YouTube channel? How come you don't have tens of thousands of subscribers on your YouTube channel? I said, I'm not worried about that at all. When I get comments that say, Nez, you completely changed my life, or Nez, your video helped me so much, that's the only currency that matters to me. And so when I want to go back to what you were saying, when you said that, when you said that you want people to watch it, you're worried about people looking at it, you're worried about views. Number one, honestly, Emmett, I would say don't even worry about views right now. I mean, you're not even at that level yet. Right now, you're in the honing your craft era. This is the part of your life where you're going to be honing your craft and trying to figure out, is this something that I want to do for the rest of my life? And so don't worry about views. Don't worry about who's reading it, who's not reading it. Worry about putting out the most highest quality writing and communication that you possibly can, and really dive deep into the craft of communication. I didn't get to this level just by luck. I didn't get to this level being a public speaker, being a professor, being a coach, being a consultant, being a professional podcasting live streamer. I get this all the time. Emmett, people, God, you sound so smooth. I'll never be like Nez. Like, you sound so smooth and natural, and you keep everybody involved and you keep the conversation going. Look, that took years and years of being like this. I mean, it took years and years of falling down to get to that level. I mean, I'm 43 years old. I'm 20 years older than you. And so it takes time. It takes practice. The biggest mistake that I wish I would have avoided as a young person, like your age, Emmett, is I wish I would have focused less on results and I wish I would have focused more on actually mastering my craft.
Okay.
I mean, I eventually got to a level where I'm very, very happy, and I always think that I can get better. Even though I truly believe this, Emmett, you're going to laugh at this, but I truly feel like I'm the best at what I do. But that confidence is not manufactured. It's not fake it till you make it. It came from blood, sweat, and toil, you know? And so right now, what you need to do is you need to just write, and write some more. Perfect your craft. And when I say perfect, there's no such thing as perfection. Editing is a huge part of that. Now, let me ask you this. I want to get to this because I love where you're coming from, and obviously, you've got the whole road ahead of you that's wide open. You've got nothing to worry about. But here's what I want to ask you. What have you been doing so far? What have you been doing so far to kind of achieve this kind of desire to be a UX writer? Or what's been working, not been working? I mean, obviously you're here to talk to me and I'm here to help. Right. But what have you been trying so far? Talk to me a little bit about that.
I've researched some different things, and I talked to where I got the idea of like being the best idea that I feel like I have right now of how to become a UX writer is being a copywriter and then moving into that role at a firm. I talked to a friend who worked at Dropbox in San Francisco for a number of years.
Oh, nice.
That's how the UX writers he knew personally, that's how they got into it. So that's where I got that idea. I've looked at some stuff. I know UCI offers like a boot camp, like 3 or 4 months, but I don't know if I have 1 year left after this semester at Chapman. I don't know if the first thing I want to do is re-enroll in school. Like I kind of feel like I'm ready to start working and making money.
I don't think you should re-enroll in school unless you're getting pressure from parents.
No,
or you have a scholarship and you have an opportunity to get a master's degree with little friction or anything like that, or extra trade or certificates with little friction. I don't think you need to worry about. I would rather you get to work.
Yeah.
I mean, you know me, Emmett. You've heard me in class. You've heard me in lectures. And I'm not going to get on a big education rant right here, but you will learn infinitely more being in the field and actually executing in the real world than you ever will in a box, AKA a classroom.
Yeah.
So I would definitely champion you to definitely start working. And when I say start working, then copywriting is a great skill. It's a great training ground for really anything you want to do in life, because copywriting is basically persuasive writing. It's learning how to understand. And when I say persuasive, I want to be very, very clear, Emmett. It's not manipulative.
Right.
See, people think copywriting, advertising, sales is all about manipulation. No. It's about communicating a story. It's about communicating, real substantive value to the end user. Otherwise, your reputation, otherwise your ethos goes right down the toilet. And as soon as your reputation goes, as Warren Buffett once said, it takes a lifetime to build a reputation. It takes seconds to lose it.
That's a good
So as soon as somebody says, well, he just totally manipulated me. He got me to opt in to this or that or X or Y or Z, but it's not what it actually turns out to be. He communicated initially. If that happens, you're done. And so copywriting is a great training ground. And I actually have a lot of ideas for how you could even do this on your own, or you could work as a copywriter for a firm or company. There's plenty of jobs for that. There's plenty of people who need good copywriters, especially for technology, because technology is a difficult thing. Products and services are difficult to a lot of the people who, all the engineers and all the innovators in technology. Their for lack of a better word, their communication skills or their branding skills, because they're focused so much on their hard skills, the soft skills of communication, which it's crazy to call them soft skills because, they're literally the essential skills. They're lacking a little bit, or they're not lacking. That's just not their strong suit. So that's where you could come in and be like, hey, not only do I have a love for technology, not only do I know what you need to how you can kind of get this across to your audience so you can be a sustainable, functional, profitable business. But this is something that I do, and this is something I love to do. And so that's a great way to get in there. And then, I mean, UX, UI writing is just almost like a natural progression from there. Who knows? You may even fall in love with copy. Well, what's your thoughts on copywriting, or have you done some copywriting so far?
I haven't. No.
Okay.
I guess I don't really have too.
Do you know anything about copywriting?
Honestly, not too much.
Okay, good. I mean, essentially, copywriting is just persuasive writing. It's copy that's either attached to a product, a service, an advertising campaign that's meant to entice the end user to opt in to whatever that is, whether it's buying, whether it's subscribing, whether it's just even clicking, right? And I always think in online terms, being an online business strategist, helping businesses, I'm always thinking online terms because even before this COVID disaster, I mean, online is everything. Now it's like 10x more. Yeah. So everything's going to be online, and all commerce is going to be online in the future.
I have an interesting anecdote about that, and then I actually need to hop off for that group FaceTime for that.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, go ahead. Yeah. So wait, before you say the anecdote, here's what I want to say because I know you have to leave. So put your head down, put in the work. Don't worry about views. Don't worry about money right now, even though I know that sounds crazy, but the less you think about money in the short term, the more the money will come in the long term. And I'm going to send you some links, and I'll put links in the description of this video so that you can actually go maybe even do some freelance writing. There's a lot of freelance writing sites out there where you can literally make money today. And so if you do that and you hone your craft, everything's going to be fine. That's what I want to say. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, well, I'm very interested in the freelance links. That sounds good.
And some of those links are actually located in the other coaching calls. If you go to my playlist on YouTube, I have a playlist, one-on-one personal branding coaching calls, career coaching calls. If you go to my playlist, you'll see a litany. It's all free, Emmett. And everybody watching and listening, it's literally all free. It's me giving my best advice, my best consulting on every topic imaginable, right? Branding, messaging, career search, job search, everything, mindset. So go check that out. And I'll definitely leave links in the description here so you can go set up shop today. What was your anecdote? Did you want
to yeah. So that sports writing internship I talked about a little
bit.
So this is just like for anyone watching, I guess, about how like prevalent online work is. I was studying abroad in Europe, so I secured that internship with a video call, and then the guy who owned the company, he lived in Irvine, so when I came back to Orange County, still though I never met him in person, just always voice call. And I did the whole like 3 months of the summer internship with Slack, video call. And, WordPress. Very cool.
I mean, 90% of my business is online. I mean, I sell services and digital products like ebooks and courses, but my services, my coaching services, everything's invisible. It's all online.
Yeah.
And I'm able to, I mean, even before this COVID crisis, I was able to build 2 multiple 6-figure businesses just online. And so I'm telling you right now, Emmett, the opportunities for being a freelance, I would rather you do your own thing than work for anybody else. And check it out. You can have multiple clients. You could have big business clients. You can also have, I would say, don't even worry about big business clients for now. Build your kind of ethos, build your repertoire, and build your client list, and really make sure that you collect as many testimonials as possible. You need to like literally become a testimonial collecting machine. And then those SMBs, small businesses, or even independent entrepreneurs who need good copywriters, who need people who can communicate their message, that starts building up. And then you can start, who knows, you can start getting the bigger clients, but you might not even need the bigger clients, because I always love the local level. Even though I work with big time companies, I like working with individual executives and individual professionals. I'm telling you right now, the sky's the limit for that, Emmett. Sky's the limit.
Sounds good.
Okay, brother. Well, hey, I just want to say thank you so much for letting us share this.
Yeah.
If you have any questions or if you have anything at all besides, what we talked about here, and that goes for everybody, feel free to email me, okay, at nez@professornez.com. I'm happy to answer any questions, or just leave comments down below and let me know, if you have any questions. I respond to all the comments. Emmett, you rock. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, brother?
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Have a good rest of your day.
You too.